people to treat those unbelievable patriots, and they were unbelievable patriots and are. You see the spirit just cheering, they're cheering while they're doing that, and they did that in prison, and it's a disgrace in my opinion. So I just want to thank you, and I want to say a very special hello to Dayton, because Dayton turned out to be a big victory for Trump, and that was good for all of us. Well, thank you very much.
And that was good for all of us. Me winning is good for all of you. I do love that Trump is a very good cult leader. Like, the idea of tying his well-being to the well-being of his supporters is a very, like, effective cult leader strategy, and that, like, bad things happening to Trump emotionally and psychologically to his fans feels like a bad thing happening to them. A disrespectful thing happening to Trump feels like they're being disrespected. So, in the same, like, a lot of these people, the way that Trump has sort of made a parasocial bond with them, they defend Trump the same way they would defend themselves. Because they feel that their ego is tied to Trump's ego. Does that make sense?
That's why we want to follow up our historic victory this week. That was a great victory, the biggest and the fastest ever. It's never been one that quick. We moved very quickly. We got very tough in the end, didn't we? We had no choice. We wanted to get a little tough to get it over with.
For the record, by the way, it's really windy, as you can tell from all the wind. And the teleprompters, I guess, are somehow able to blow in the wind. I don't know how that works, but they did. And so he is not able to read the teleprompters through much of this, and eventually he talks about it, apparently. But it's why he's rambling so much, is he's, like, not being fed lines. He's like run out of lines. It's interesting that, like, these people surely see the teleprompter too, and they know he's just reading that. Like, do they not care? I don't know.
And we got it over with, but it's the fastest ever, and that means we have the longest wait ever. 7 months is a long time, a little more than 7 months. It's like an eternity when you have people that are incompetent running your country into the ground. But if we could, we're going to take that victory, and we're going to add to it with Bernie Moreno, who's a fantastic guy. Bernie is a fantastic guy. He's getting some very tough Democrat.
I love Bernie. Bernie's a fantastic guy. I hope Trump keeps saying that. I like him complimenting Bernie Sanders like this.
Fake treatment right now, and we're not going to stand for it because
Bernie Sanders is the only Bernie that you refer to just by his first name. So when he just says Bernie is great, it's like, if I didn't know the context, I'd assume he's talking about Bernie Sanders. I would clip that out of context and be like, clip it and ship it. Donald Trump endorses Bernie Sanders. Clipped and shipped. Donald Trump is a communist. We got him.
I know this man. We all know this man. He's a hero. He's a winner. And we're not going to let these people are sick between Russia for 2 years, and Ukraine, 51 intelligence agents. I want one after another. One would stop, and then they'd lie again. And all the way to where we are right now, where we're leading Biden by numbers.
You know, it really is crazy that even lefties have fallen for the, like, right-wing talking point that the Russian collusion thing was a hoax or a nothing burger, when, as I've said earlier in the stream, but I'll repeat because this is a separate video, Trump's head campaign people were, like, arrested and sent to prison because they were provably involved with, like, the effort among Trump's campaign to collude with Russia to help him get elected and hurt Hillary. They just couldn't tie it to Trump because Trump had fall guys to separate, like, culpability from himself, right? It's how mob-type guys do that type of business. It's how he's always done business. He's got fall guys. And, you know, that's where the saying, Teflon Don, comes from. Nothing can stick to him. He's always got, like, some sort of defense set up, right? And so with that in mind, I feel like, man, you just gotta keep in mind that you can't fall for this shit. Just because the Democrats weren't successful in convicting Trump doesn't mean they didn't find anything. You can't fall for Trump's talking points just because he's not behind bars. He didn't do anything, or that, like, it was a nothing burger. His campaign did collude with Russia. It's not alleged. I don't have to say allegedly because the courts determined that it did. There's no, it wasn't an alleged thing that happened. It was a thing that happened.
That nobody's ever seen before, and we have to keep it going. So Bernie Moreno, we want to, where is Bernie? Is he around here? There is Bernie. And a great family, and Max, we love Max. Max was with me for 4 years, our great congressman. And
amazing. Amazing.
Son of a dumb son of a...
He's basically doing a rehash of the argument that his fans have always loved, which is I could shoot
victory
somebody.
This week, that was a great victory.
I would shoot somebody and my fans wouldn't care. Here, Trump. This is one of his proudest talking points and the one that gets him the most crowd cheers and applause.
The people, my people are so smart. And you know what else they say about my people? The polls. They say, I have the most loyal people. Did you ever see that? Where I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? It's incredible. No, they say, Trump, we love you too, man. Trump's voters are by far, I'm at 68, 69%. I'm at 90% total. Will you say absolutely? I think it's 68 or 69%.
Interesting that energy didn't carry over to the 2020 election, though. Regardless, I got to make it clear, Trump prides himself, as do his supporters, in the fact that they grade him on a curve, as many of them will say. That is to say, nothing Trump ever does will be bad enough for them to say, okay, he's gone too far now. Oh, here's Trump talking about undocumented immigrants and comparing them to animals.
Right? Young people, they're in jail for years, and if you call them people, I don't know if you call them people. In some cases, they're not people, in my opinion, but I'm not allowed to say that because the radical left says that's a terrible thing to say.
He's not wrong. You know what? Rare Trump W, he's not wrong. Saying that immigrants aren't people is a terrible thing to say, and the radical left would say that. I think we here on the radical left do stand by the message that is a terrible thing to say. Yeah, no, that's he wasn't wrong there.
They say you have to vote against him because did you hear what he said about humanity? I've seen the humanity, and these are bad. These are animals, okay? And we have to stop it. We can't have another Lakin. We have so many people. We have so many people being hurt so badly and being killed. They're sending their prisoners to see us. And they're bringing them right to the border, and they're dropping them off, and we're allowing them to come in. And these are tougher than anybody we've got in the country.
Here, let's just fact check that for fun. Literally nothing about them shipping criminals to the border comes up. I think Trump just made that one up off the top of his head. He does that.
These are hardened criminals, and we've got hundreds of thousands of them, and we're not going to take it. We're just not going to.
For the record, by the way, when you look at crime stats, native-born U.S. citizens commit more crime than even illegal immigrants. I guess if you discount the crime of being illegally immigrated, they get here and they don't do crime at they do less crime. They do not crime at a way higher rate than American native-born citizens do not crime.
Take it. They are destroying our country. I'm telling you, right?
Damn. We're getting pretty mask off going into this election, huh? Even the Republicans recognize this election as the one that's the do or die. This is it, This is the most important election there is. They recognize they got to win this one, so there's not really much of a point in being mask off anymore. I don't think they really have this concept of a political future they need to, prepare for in the world of democracy, because I think they plan to take over in this election and to not have to worry about elections after this one.